Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers. As you can see, today we're in a different location, doing a little photo tour of Edinburgh. And you can see behind me the famous Forth rail bridge. The Forth road bridge is just over there, which I'll show you in a second. I've just come down here to scout the location. I'm actually going to come back tonight when it's dark, photograph this because I think it'll look much more interesting with some lights. When I originally booked this trip, the weather forecast was much better. It's turned out to be grey and showery, so I'm having a change of plan. You've got to think like that on your feet as a photographer. So I'm going to go into the city next and take some pictures as it goes dark with the lights on, see if they bring something to light, do some long exposures and stuff like that. There's some famous landmarks in Edinburgh. I hope you'll enjoy seeing them. So I've come down to Dean Village, which you'll see behind me, to take my first shot. This is actually one of the old areas of the Royal Borough of Edinburgh, and it's actually a miller's village, and you can see from the architecture loads of mills here. I think there was 11 mills, and it dates back to like Elizabethan times, I think somewhere around 16th century. So I've set up my shot here, and basically I've got an ND filter on to slow down the water. I want to make that a bit more smooth. The light isn't brilliant, but buildings are interesting, so it'll do for our first shot. Now, the way I've planned this trip, the next place I'm going to is a place called Circus Lane. I'm just following the Water of Leith walkway up through a lovely bit of the Dean, which means Deep Valley. And this is Circus Lane. So as you can see, it's a pretty little street. It's got a mixture of old and new buildings in it. I don't think it's famous for anything in particular other than being a pretty little street with a clock tower there at the end. So what I've decided to do is a focus stack. There's the flowers in the foreground and the street giving some leading lines, leading you through the image in the background. Just stopped in front of the Waldorf Astoria Hotel, so the Livis Junction, and I'm just taking three shots actually, about 2.5 seconds exposure, and I'm going to blend them together, and I think it's quite a nice composition. Just wait for the lights to change and then I'll get the shot. So one of the places that I absolutely wanted to capture was Edinburgh Castle. When I researched it, there's a place called the Vennel Steps, which is where I'm stood now. Gives you a lovely view of it. And walking about tonight, a lot of my timing has been based on getting here at the time when the lights go on the castle. So it's just a little bit after sunset. And I'm just waiting here a few moments for them to come to their full brightness, and I'll take a shot in portrait and landscape. I'm not going to do anything clever with this, just literally set it up with a narrow aperture, something like f13, and just try and get the best shot I can. Ideally I would have liked these little street lights on, but in reality they might be a bit bright in the foreground, so I might play around with those when I come to retouch it. Now, if you are planning a sort of more complicated photo shoot like this, where you want to capture a number of places at a particular time, then check out a video which I'll link to up here, where I teach you how to plan a photo shoot and the kind of apps that you can use that will help you to do that. For my next area, come to Upper Bow Street. And this is above Victoria Street, which is perhaps most famous for being the inspiration for Diagon Alley, if I say that right, in Harry Potter. So I'm going to take a picture from up the top here and then take one from low down. Oh, I'm hoping you can see me. It's 11 o'clock or something at night. Come back to the Forth bridges just to try and get a nighttime shot of that. There was a alert on my phone that the aurora might be present, but actually it's very cloudy, and I don't think we'll see anything. There's quite a lot of light pollution too, but I'm going to take a couple of shots of the bridges, and then I'm going to call it a night. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little photo tour around Edinburgh. I certainly had a lot of fun seeing the sights. In all honesty, I probably bit off a bit more than I could chew. I did plan to do 5 or 6 different locations, and it would have really been nice to photograph them all at the same time of day, really, as the sun was setting while we were still in that golden hour and blue hour. But it just wasn't practical. I probably needed to be here for 2 or 3 more days or something, but again, you know, that adds to the cost, accommodation and all the rest of it. But anyway, I'm pleased with some of the shots I've got. Remember, if you want to buy any of those, you can see them on my Etsy shop as well. There's a link to that in the description. Now, in the meantime, hope you get the chance when you're on your travels to take some lovely photos. Why not share them in the Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook group? Go out and have some fun with your camera. I look forward to seeing you next time.